Ahoy, fellow sailors. Happy Halloween and welcome aboard to Pop Chat. We've got a lot of topics on deck, my fellow shipmates. Happy Halloween. I see so many of you are already in the chat. Thea's here in Thea Solidarity. I will say hi to my Thea. She is sleeping at the moment, so hope she stays asleep during this chat because I don't have backup childcare at the moment, but she's a good sleeper. Happy Halloween, Rebecca. Glad you made it this week. Kathy Ann is here from across the pond. Gibson, great to see you again. First timer, Rachel, welcome. I know Rachel is also in full costume at her desk. She is dressed as Alvin from the Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks today. So I hope you're getting good feedback on your costume. And gotta say hi to my dad, who I guess just showed up on YouTube. Hi, Dad. A true sailor and Navy serviceman. Hi, Dad. Happy Halloween, Amy. Oh, thank you, Dad. You would always say that. Yeah, I would rather be sleeping too. I get it. Yeah, Dad, I thought you were napping. That's what Mom said. She was just texting me. She said you were taking a nap, just like my Thea girl. So happy Halloween, Monique, to all the spookiest ghouls and ghosts out there. Speaking of spooky things, look at all these cool little assets that StreamYard loaded in here. There's some cool ones. Candy. We've got a little dancing skeleton and a pumpkin. So why not? I'll play with some of these. It's Halloween. It's Friday. We could have a good time. Savannah's here. Is anyone else at their desk in full costume right now? I realize it's a little odd for me to be like working from home in full costume, but if you are in an office, bye, Dad. Good night. Yeah, Noah's here. Let me know if you're dressed up at the moment. But we are gonna jump right into things. Ooh, that's not gonna work. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try this for now. See how we like that. I love how StreamYard like has some of these that are already purple. I don't know if that was by design, like if it saw my current branding and made everything purple. Probably not, because I was discussing with my husband that purple has become like a Halloween color in recent years. Like some of my neighbors have purple lights up. Like, when did that happen? Rebecca, what are you dressed as? And ahoy, Rich. Great to see you. So go ahead, tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do. I'm a sailor today, but for those of you who may not know me, my name is Brienne Fleming. I have been hosting Pop Chat, oh my gosh, going on 6 years. And I love to make content about the intersection of marketing and pop culture. My background's in marketing. I got my degree at the University of Central Florida. I also love the Backstreet Boys, love the 90s, early 2000s, and I teach branding and social media at the University of Florida, and I live in Jupiter. Pop Chat merch. Whoa, where did we see that? You know, I do have some Pop Chat merch. Speaking of, I used to have a whole line. Here's a Pop Chat OG hat, which you guys could be OGs. You're OGs to the live stream, which is new. I've had some mugs. I need to bring all that back, but we've got some giveaways of merch that I'm going to tell you about later, so stay tuned. And yeah, so please tell us who you are, because I do care who you are, unlike what my beloved Backstreet Boys say in their song, As Long As You Love Me. I'm going to take these gloves off for now because it's a little hard to drive the stream with those on. Okay, so what is Pop Chat? If you are lurking, if you are just joining for the first time, it is an intersection, like I said, of marketing and pop culture. And a great byproduct of that is community and connection, because we get to know each other beyond just our jobs and what we do. We get to bond over movies and headlines and all kinds of fun things. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I really do need to bring it back. I would appreciate that support. You guys really have me thinking, so thank you. I know Rich had a great tweet about merch and just how it really unifies a community. And you can see some Pop Chat merch here. We had a visor, my But First Pop Chat mug. Dakota was wearing the Pop Chat After Dark, which if you were around for Pop Chat After Dark, like peak COVID, stuck in our homes, we would go on Zoom. We would do Pop Chat Happy Hour. That would start at 7:00, and then it would last until like 11:00, and it would just get more and more off the rails, and that became like Pop Chat After Dark. Maybe we'll bring that back. We'll see. Amy from Baltimore, she's looking for a new role in marketing. So I will keep my eyes peeled for you, Amy. Emily is here. As long as you love me. Yes. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Kathy on LinkedIn, Serene Princess on other social platforms, a lecturer in marketing, and an island girl in Scotland. I love that. That's a really cool vibe. So the way Pop Chat works, you've heard it before. Be you. Just share your perspective. There's no single authority here. Share your thoughts. All perspectives are welcome. And connect with others and have fun. Send some connection requests after this. Get to know each other. Emily's clocked in from NYC's Paley Center right now, and I'm the only one who wore a costume. Remind me what you dressed up as, Emily. But I went to a Halloween party the other day, and it was like kind of a little kids party. And my husband and I were the only parents that dressed up. Like we were like a full family in costume when everyone else just had their kids dressed up. But we had fun. Yes, Rich's tweet said branded merch makes your audience feel part of your brand's community. I hope you know that you all already are the fabric of Pop Chat, but if you would like some real fabric, some t-shirts and some fun things, we can work on that. So thank you all for the support. Speaking of that, of Pop Chat and merch and cool things going on, I just wanted to announce here, and I've shared it before on my feed, but we have a new Pop Chat sponsor starting next week, Zapier, and they're going to be doing some really cool giveaways of swag and all kinds of cool stuff. And you may remember that this kind of came up when I posted this poll asking for help naming my baby that's due in January. The options were Canva, Trello, Zapier, or Wix, and Zapier won by 48% of the vote. And that just led into this fun like DM with their social media manager. We got to talking. One thing led to another, and they want to be part of Pop Chat. We're going to double down on this and keep the fun going. We're all really committed to the bit. I might actually have to name my kid Zapier after this, now that they're an official partner. I'm really excited to work with them. So that kicks off next Friday, November 7th, already into November. Zapier is the shizzle. Yes, that platform, the things you can do with it and the way that you can get it to talk to all your other tools, it is just almighty. Yeah, where is everyone's Halloween spirit? Oh, yes, that's right. The credits of Law and Order. Yes. I saw that. Yeah, Halloween spirit is out of order or out of office. Too funny. Yes, we love LinkedIn for the connection, so go ahead and do it. And for today's icebreaker, I had to ask, what is your favorite Halloween candy? What candy is superior in your book? I need to know. And also let me know, I'm kind of curious your stance on candy corn as well. I know that's very controversial. I do like candy corn, but I just, my metabolism is not what it used to be. So I don't just down like a bucket of candy corn like I used to, but I do like it. I just can't tell you the last time I actually ate it. So yeah, tell me your favorite Halloween candy. I'm really down for anything chocolate. Big Snickers, Reese's fan. But don't come at me with the Swedish Fish or like warheads or any of the, like the fruity stuff. I just want chocolate. But that's kind of my mode year round. See, we're in good company. But if you do like I can't even say Swedish fish. If you do like them, somebody has to. I love candy corn, good taste, Reese's Cups, yep, Snickers and Kit Kat. Remember when we used to trick or treat just with full pillowcases? Anything chocolate, even candy corn. Yeah. So I don't know. My daughter's one. I might parade her around the neighborhood and trick or treat and just eat all her candy because she's not eating the candy right now. So milk duds. Okay. I don't mind a milk dud. I feel like I only have them on Halloween and I think that makes them better. Also, nerds clusters all day. Okay. I do like nerds, even though they're fruity and sometimes sour. Skittles. Okay. Skittles are the exception. Let's see. Anne says ADHD hyperfixations also apply to candy. Currently, Airheads bites. What are bites? Are they just like smaller versions? Swedish fish. Oh my gosh, we've got some fans. Kayla and Anne. Yes, Snickers, M&M's, Kit Kat. Love me a Twix. Noah's a gummy girl. Anything gummy is yummy. Okay, I could see that. Thinking of passing out potatoes this year. You know, it might be time for that. Miranda, hello, Twix. Twix is like the best of everything. A cookie and chocolate. Why not both? Oh, a pumpkin candy corn. Huh. I can't say I've tried that. I tell myself that I don't really like pumpkin flavored things, but then I try some and I'm like, this isn't half bad. I would just never choose it. So, okay, well, I hope you guys get, that all your candy dreams come true. Rebecca says Reese pumpkins, but my son has a peanut allergy, so I can't eat them at home. It's a special treat at work. Aw. Well, I hope you're at the office now enjoying your Reese's. Okay, friends, let's rewind back today in pop culture history. We've got some hashtag holidays. In addition to Halloween, today is also National Knock Knock Joke Day. So with a little help of ChatGPT, I have a little social media related knock knock joke. So, knock knock. Who's there? Trend. Trend who? Friend alert, but it's too late. We missed it. That was like the only one that somewhat made me laugh. The others were pretty cringy, but pretty relatable. That trends come and go, and you might miss them if you're not quick. Also, I thought this was really interesting to bring up that yesterday happened to be National Publicist Day. And I had to shout out everyone's favorite publicist in pop culture, which is Samantha Jones from Sex and the City. But I learned that Samantha's character actually sparked like a PR problem for PR as a career because, oh, thank you, Monique. Thank you for playing along. Because the show and how she depicted PR kind of as like, oh, she's, planning all these lavish parties and going to all these parties with tons of VIPs. And it's just like this party scene. So real PR professionals have had to kind of undo that perception. And in fact, they have a name for it called Samantha Syndrome. And I wonder if that's how, younger generations, well, if they're watching Sex and the City on Netflix, people in college today might be viewing PR just kind of like as this, glitzy partying type of field. And Laguna Beach or the Hills kind of did the same thing as well. The Hills. This is the first time someone is actually at our house for Halloween since I was in high school, so I have no idea how many trick-or-treaters I'll get, but I've got candy and some dollar store non-candy goodies. Last year, we ran out of candy. It was really bad. I don't think I've ever been more embarrassed. I love a good cringy, corny joke. The cringier, the better. Thank you, Kathy Ann. Kathy Ann. I really appreciate that. Because that's what that was exactly. Also, famous birthdays today. Vanilla Ice turns 58. And I thought this was fun to include because wouldn't he be a fun Halloween costume? You need any last minute ideas? Just go get, one of these cool jackets and do your hair like that. So if you see him around, actually, I might see him around because I think he lives in South Florida. But it's his birthday. To be fair, being a parties and mingling and rubbing elbows is a real job and is important for networking. Yes, you're not lying. That is true. It is part of it. It is part of it. So, yeah. So, we need to give Samantha a little more credit then. Good point, Monique. Also, in our pop culture rewind, today in 2000, Napster announced a deal with a company called BMG Entertainment to become a paid subscription service where people would pay to download music. It would be a membership-based music service, and it would actually pay royalties to the artists instead of just stealing their work and pirating everything. But it was eventually shut down in 2002, and there were a ton of lawsuits. But I think it came back. I think something might currently be going on with Napster. I'm not sure. Sima's here. Happy Halloween. Ahoy. Good to see you. So yeah, Napster. Who here was a Napster user? I know I certainly was. I downloaded Photoshop for the first time on Napster and was just burning a ton of CDs. It was not fair for artists, but it was fun to make our own mixes. Samantha was always stressed. Poor girl had no work-life balance. That's on the place she worked. Yeah. Although I think Samantha had her own firm. I don't know. It's just a stressful job. I wonder why Carrie wasn't more stressed with that weekly deadline looming. I stress out over my newsletter and I make the rules for that. But deadlines, yeah, they can be a lot. So Napster, farewell. Farewell to Napster. Seems like yesterday. All right, fast forward to present day. We've got some trending topics. And speaking of music and all these things, you know what? I'm going to turn this off for now. It's a little distracting. Speaking of music and trending topics and Napster and just songs, Billboard announced that for the first time since 1990, there are no rap songs on their Hot 100. The last song that just dropped out was Kendrick Lamar and SZA here, their song Luther. And now there are no rap songs on the Hot 100. Napster, big on YouTube. So MP3 converters, yes, those would jack up your computer too. Napster and LimeWire. I want to say I used to call it Kaza at the time, but I think it's actually Kazaa. Kazaa. I think that was really my jam. So what is going on? No rap songs on Billboard's Hot 100. And I was thinking about this, and I still feel like rap is alive and well, but maybe just not in the mainstream charts. For instance, have you seen that there's a 2012 Nicki Minaj song that is kind of taking off, Bees in the Trap? There's this little mashup, and it's turning into this whole TikTok trend. So that is getting some traction with her verse on that. And then also just individual, or I should say independent rappers on TikTok and Instagram that are throwing their own verses on popular songs. Those people are getting a lot of followers. I've had a bunch of those videos DM to me. You use that one too. So funny. So I don't know. I speculate that rap is doing okay, but it's just not being reflected in the mainstream. So, my question for you is that the mainstream charts and social media can sometimes tell different stories. So, how do you see culture being shaped today, and which signals matter most? Like, is the mainstream media the best indicator of what culture really is like these days, or has that shifted elsewhere? Where is culture being shaped, and how are we kind of looking for what is representing our culture at any given time? What are your thoughts? This is still distracting, huh? All these cats and stuff. Oh, you know what I want to play with while you're thinking about this one? Do, do, do. They also gave me some backgrounds. Whoa. Let's do this one. No, I like this one. Okay, thoughts. Benati's here. So great to see you. I think people mean that from a business standpoint, rap for rap's sake versus rap as a career. Okay. Okay. Kathy Ann says rap is alive and well. Maybe it's just this week. Maybe Lover Girl from Meg might make some waves soon. I wouldn't necessarily freak out. Maybe there's more bubbling under. Yeah, so that's also something I was curious about, but I didn't work it into this question is what do you think is next? Is this little perhaps rap drought that we're in going to lead to just a whole new wave of rap like all at once? It's going to create this like rap renaissance. Monique says, I think the world of music niches are different now. The communities don't always show up in the mainstream. Yeah, and people are getting discovered in different ways, and are experiencing fame in really niche ways as well. Benatti, I know I read this, but I want you to tell me more. I'd love if you could elaborate on that. Lathan says music is different for each community. What may not be popular at large may have a strong presence within a certain group, and it changes so quickly that it's hard to put weight on it. That's what I think. I'm like, is this really reflecting everyone's taste? I don't know. But then again, I look back to like rap of our youth and there were so many big players. Like I was trying to think of the big players in rap right now, and all I could think of were like Kendrick Lamar, Drake-ish, although Drake isn't that, new. Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. SZA, I didn't really consider her rap. I know she was on that Kendrick song, but like, gosh, back in our day, we had like Nelly and Ja Rule and Twista and Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Eminem, like so many, and they were all huge. So it's interesting to look at this landscape. Simon says, I think a lot of culture today is being impacted greatly by what feels acceptable in the political and media climate. So many feel like they need to fit into a mold like the trad wife and are afraid to actually express themselves. I feel like social media are creating more trending items and everyone is trying to fit that trend. Ooh, so it's like they're trying to put the genre in like a certain box. I was thinking about this as well, just like even rap from when I was younger, and many of you were younger. Doechii, yes. It was also very there's a lot of objectification of women. Like that was like the main topic that was discussed, thinking about like some Ludacris songs, although I love Ludacris. We sang those songs despite how, offensive they were looking back. But I don't think that's the cool thing to do anymore. So I don't want to say that if without objectifying women that rappers suddenly have nothing to talk about. That can't be true. That can't be true. There's more. Can we just let artists cook for a sec before making drastic calls? Okay, yeah. Again, tell me more. Like, before we say that rap is dead? I don't think it's dead. I think it's existing in different pockets. Yeah, Eminem. I mean, all these all these icons. Um, Kathy Ann says, I think culture today is shaped from different factors: social media viral nature, micro communities and subcultures, how the algorithms change, and language. The politics and social culture determines what is acceptable or not. Yeah, and I think we're also being served, speaking of algorithms, that's such a great point. Like, the culture that I'm seeing in my feed is probably very different than the culture that someone else is seeing, depending on what your tastes are. So I might be out of the loop on some things, but that doesn't mean that that content and that culture isn't being shaped elsewhere. Busta Rhymes, yeah, please keep naming. Let's name some more. Please go ahead. I mean, then we had like some of the one hit wonders and stuff like Chingy and oh my gosh. Good times. Good times. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see who will be the next to break into the rap category. Now I wonder if like the Grammys and all those award shows are gonna not really have a lot to choose from. So many rap songs were also about getting drunk and partying in the club, and that's not as popular anymore, with more people finding non-alcoholic options. Yes, I might have even shared this during a pop chat or two, an article about how Gen Z just they're not going to the club. They're that's not how they're having fun. Doja Cat, okay, yeah, I guess she's rap. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I think culture is shaped in the office, or that's what I keep being told at least. That's where your family is, really. Family is at the office. Anne says genres are blurred more than ever, and communities are more niche and smaller, yet stronger. I think the charts are more of a vanity metric. Ooh, putting it in marketing terms, chart rankings are like follower counts, while the community artists build and the engagement are the engagement rates. There's so much music out there, and to make it to the level of mainstream culture is such a rarity. Yeah, and this has really opened the doors for a lot of artists to experience success kind of on a smaller scale. I've seen this a lot too with comedians. Like, to be a mainstream comedian, oh my gosh, that is so competitive and so hard. But you can find a little, maybe not so little, but a following sharing your material on TikTok. And I've seen some, very niche comedians go on these mini tours of their own. They might never get a Netflix special, but they are still doing what they love and having some success. So Two Live Crew is nasty. In my opinion, is a lot of the business decisions are being made based on what could become a trend. Rap to me is about personal expression, not relatability expression. That wouldn't trend, generally speaking. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like no one did that better than Eminem. Is like really making it not about like I feel like Eminem's songs were always so personal and were truly his self-expressions. Like, he wasn't rapping about partying and like these maybe more relatable things that we all might do or experience. Like, they were true to who he was and his upbringing. And I know a lot of other artists do that too, but I agree with you there. There's a lot more fusion. So like Doja Cat is rap, but does music that would also be easily categorized in rock or emo. So maybe if you're a purist rap star, it would be harder to find that very clear rap song. Yeah, like you guys are saying, the genres are a little more blurred. So just something to watch. I thought it was interesting that this was happening. Okay, moving from rap to pop. Katy Perry, she has been having a rough year. Hasn't she? I don't know. Her album kind of flopped. She's going through a divorce. Um, yeah. But she's on tour, so I guess that's going well. To catch you up on what went on with Katy Perry, it was her 41st birthday this week, and there's this footage of her backstage at one of her shows, and she blows out the candles in this cake and then throws the cake for some reason, destroys the cake, and you could see like her dancer sort of playfully eating some of the cake off the floor. Why is this relevant to Pop Chat? Well, it sparked a ton of backlash, primarily because of this tweet. Let me make this bigger for you for a sec. Someone said, "My mom was the one that baked this cake. She was so excited about the opportunity to make a cake for Katy Perry and spent so long on it. I'm genuinely confused and upset as to why she would do this." So then that kind of put me in the shoes of, you know, whoever made that cake. I feel bad. She's dating Justin Trudeau. I did see that. Definitely random. So then I was like, oh, that poor, probably small business owner put all that time into this cake, and then yeah, oh boy. And then she throws the cake. I wonder how that would make me feel, like putting your heart and soul into something. So I don't know. There was some interesting commentary on the thread. I will share some of that after I first hear your thoughts. But I'm curious now, what could this baker gain from this viral moment, even though the cake was destroyed? What should she do next? Putting on your marketing hats. What should she do next? What could she do next to maybe capitalize on this moment? Didn't really go how she imagined it, but yeah. Also, while you're doing that, I want to try something here. Show comments on, ooh, I can have like a whole little stream here instead of just like spotlighting you guys. But no, I don't think I like that. Wide, ooh, medium, big. Can't even let them eat cake. That's so funny. Whoa, StreamYard is so powerful, you guys. It does so much. Every time I log in, there's new features and things to test out. I feel like I'm only scratching the surface. Let's see what Lathan has to say. Katy has become overly performative. I think this is her response to other newer, younger, better artists. She's trying to just trend and get attention. Oh boy. Yeah, I forgot she went to space. She went to space this year and people had things to say about that. This was what I was going to say, was what a lot of the theme of the commentary was, from people on the sort of the other side of it, devil's advocate, is if she paid for the cake, it was her cake, and she could do what she wants with it after that. I don't like the angle of, I baked this cake, so you must eat it. So, yeah. While that is true, I still think I would be pretty brokenhearted over it. No matter how much I tried. Kyle, I was thinking about this too, and how you brought this up a couple chats ago. The small business owner is about to have their Billy's Donuts moment. Yeah, we need to find her. Everyone get your refresher on Billy's Donuts and how that took off. Let's also make sure Billy's Donuts is still open and doing well, I hope. I predict and hope she will get attention and support from locals and outsiders alike. I would start baking other cakes for celebs, or even make TikToks about destroying different types of cakes. That is fun. Lean into it. On a related note, some of my friends, we talk about this baker that lives in Las Vegas, and she has a bakery. I think it's a donut shop, actually. And she always finds a way to get backstage in Las Vegas at all these incredible residencies, because she shows up with these artisanal donuts and cupcakes and all this stuff that will like feature the artist. She's done it for the Backstreet Boys. She's done it like she'll show up at their rehearsal in Vegas, and then gift them the donuts, and then they'll be like, "Oh, why don't you sit in the audience and watch us rehearse for a little bit?" Like, why didn't I become a baker? Like, that's the secret to get backstage is to bake? Like, why didn't I think of that? I need to pursue that. Excuse me. Kathy Ann says she can make cupcakes or smaller cakes like a special edition for sale that matches what she made for Katy Perry, capitalize off the opportunity, or use this as an opportunity to say, I can customize a cake for you like you're a star. Yeah, or smash cakes like really are a thing. Like cakes that are meant to be destroyed. Um, so that could be fun. I do think the bakery can spin this. Our cakes are a slam dunk. So good, you'll eat it off the floor kind of thing. Should we just brainstorm this whole campaign together, guys? Yeah, so I don't know. I also read that this tweet, like this isn't real. Like this is just someone kind of being sarcastic or trying to make a point. So I haven't seen who actually baked this cake or any stories about her, but that is the next rabbit hole I want to go down. Benatti says, my local bakeries sell cheaper cakes for face smashing. So when in college, we used to buy two cakes, the one to eat and the other to play. This baker could market this sort of cake. Yeah, absolutely. And we do this for, little kids' birthdays too. All right. How are we only on question 2? I need to get going here. Did we see Cracker Barrel's viral East Wing retweet? So in case you haven't seen this meme that's been going around, you may know that the East Wing of the White House was demolished to make way for a larger ballroom. And it sparked all these tweets of things that you might see built in that space instead of a ballroom. And someone tweeted this meme, or Wall Street Mav said, it says, wait, they're really attaching a Cracker Barrel to the East Wing? And they retweeted it and said, you don't want us anywhere near a remodel. So thoughts on this? This tweet is getting a ton of press. Hold on a second. My daughter is awake. I'm going to put on her little lullaby. And shout out to Bree Reynolds. I know I'm connected with her on LinkedIn. She used to do social for Lyft and then recently started at Cracker Barrel and is already making waves. So I want to know, what is your first reaction to this tweet? And also, have your perceptions about Cracker Barrel changed? Like through through the remodel, through the retraction, all the stuff, like I guess my question is, where do you stand with Cracker Barrel now versus then? That is hilarious. See, and this is why I can never delete Twitter, you guys, because I still feel like that's where these moments are happening. I am a Twitter lifer. Yeah, that was weird. Upsell, buy 2 cakes, 1 for eating and 1 for smashing. Smart. Cracker Barrel. There's still time. Wait, still time for what? To turn it into a Cracker Barrel in the East Wing? Maybe. All right. I'm going to just, in the interest of time, kick off my thoughts on this question. I feel like that tweet for me really just turned the whole page on the Cracker Barrel thing. Like, kind of just admitting, not admitting, but playfully poking fun at their little misstep there. And I think that single tweet closed that chapter for me. And now they're starting fresh, but with the old, not with the new. Simon says, I love that they recognize that their rebrand was a flop. It's great when a brand can be accountable and own their mistakes. So many brands stick to a bad decision because they invested so much money in it. So they think it's a sunk cost. Yeah, to that point, I am still surprised that they pulled the plug on it so quickly, because you're right. That is so much money, time, and yeah, I guess they just scrapped it. I like when a brand steers into the skid, Lathan says. I still think the same way about Cracker Barrel, but since there are none near me, I do not really think much about it. Same. I don't know if it's a place I used to eat there as a kid, like with the family. Um, I would go to Cracker Barrel. Love when a brand can poke fun at themselves. Yes, and it's like also just very self-aware. That's kind of what some of the press and media coverage was about this, is just a brand having self-awareness, which is kind of funny to think about. It's like humanizing a brand. I still need to actually try Cracker Barrel. The blowback came from bots, not real people. Really? I think the tweet solidified that they're on their way to a rebrand. Like they are modernizing, but they're slowing down. Yeah. And I I wonder if this investment in like a new social team or manager or approach was kind of a response to what they've been going through. All right, friends. Let's talk about the kids. Dictionary.com has named 6'7" the word of the year. And if you didn't know about this, and this is the first time you're hearing about it, I'm sorry. But this is just some slang that the youths are saying that pretty much makes no sense. In the words of dictionary.com, it says perhaps the most defining feature of 6'7" is that it's impossible to define. It's meaningless, ubiquitous, and nonsensical. In other words, it has all the hallmarks of brain rot. It's the logical endpoint of being perpetually online, scrolling endlessly, consuming content fed to users by algorithms, trained by other algorithms. And what are we left with in this wake of this relentless sensory overload? 6'7". Still, it remains meaningful to the people who use it because of the connection it fosters. 6'7" shows the speed at which a new word can rocket around the world as a rising generation enters the global conversation. And I know millennials, we had stupid like things that we would just say randomly also. But now considering this is the new slang happening, I'm curious about brands using slang. Oh, excuse me. What criteria should brands use to decide if a piece of online slang is worth integrating into their voice? Should brands start seriously using it? We saw like girl boss and all those phrases become a thing. Don't understand it. I don't think we're supposed to. I'm fully old now. I've tried to understand it, but I am thoroughly left behind. Yeah. There were some kids in my neighborhood yesterday with sidewalk chalk writing in the streets and on everyone's driveways, and they wrote 6'7" all over my driveway and like 6+7. I'm like, what is going on? It's so fetch. See, fetch at least is like an adjective for something. Like 6'7", I feel like is just like an earworm that the kids are just saying to fill silence. I have no idea. So should brands start saying it? Yes, I saw a tweet that said this. But I'm happy for them. Every generation needs their nonsensical thing. But do the brands need to do it? I kind of think this trend is, or this piece of slang is skewing so young. Maybe now that I'm old, maybe all slang was like that. It's like so young that unless your audience is literal high schoolers and middle schoolers, and even elementary school kids were the ones writing it on my street, then no, because no one gets it. Brands can do 67 flavor, 6'7" flavor, 6. I've heard it's uncool to say 67. It's like never 67. But yeah, maybe Baskin Robbins could do something like that. Wait, no, what's Heinz? Heinz is 87 varieties, right? Has to already fit their brand and speak to their target market. Also, if you want to kill a trend effectively, having brands jump on it, which is its own strategy. That was my other thought, was like, now that dictionary.com has made it the word of the year, it's like, okay, next. Now it's uncool. Miranda says, I don't see any issue with trendy terms unless there's legal issue. At this point, everything is so fleeting online that by the time someone finds fault with it, it will be old news. I like that approach. Why not? Have fun with it. Ride the wave. All right, friends, I'm going to keep reading these, but I do have a little bit more to get to. We've got until 2 o'clock or so. It's Feel Good Friday. So I want you. Heinz is 57? I think you're right. Oh, they need to come up with 10 more varieties and do like a whole special launch. As a brand, I would not necessarily can't talk today. Not necessarily use it if it's random or does not make sense. But it doesn't make sense for anything. So it's like, I don't know. Doesn't mean anything. People using it, mostly kids who aren't out there following brands on Instagram. Yeah, are the youths not on Instagram? Is that the consensus? We're chronically online, so it feels natural to fit it into the social copy. Yeah, maybe we do it as a joke. 6-7 is annoying the adults who are the ones actually spending the money and doing the buying. Yeah, and probably reading the tweets and stuff. So, all right, friends, it's Feel Good Friday. So share some good news, some cool things you might have going on. I'm going to put my gloves on here for Feel Good Friday because I have something cool to show you. And did anyone tune in to Canva's world tour yesterday? Their keynote, where they announced, as you can see here, 9 innovations and new features and cool things that they have going on. And I'm going to share what they are so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Some of them are so advanced that even I don't fully understand them yet, but I do have a handy dandy slide that explains some of them, and then I have something to show you. They have a video 2.0 editor. So hold on. With a timeline and new layering, and there's AI assisted magic videos. You could just tell it how you want things edited. There is also something called interactive design with their websites now, where you can make landing pages with forms and actually get feedback via those forms. You have email design, a whole new library of email templates. I know. Tell me if you are aware of all this stuff already. Tell me what feature you're most excited about. Email design. They have a whole new library of email templates, and you can export them once your design is done and export them as HTML and drop them into any email platform. So I might play with that for my newsletter because drag and drop editors can drive me nuts sometimes. This one I'm not too privy to, but the Canva design model, it's an AI trained specifically on design principles for layouts, branding, and visuals. So sounds like something just to make your work look better. Something called AI Where You Work, embedded AI tools across Canva for faster creation in every workflow. So sounds like there's just less manual work even within Canva, which makes it Canva already makes things so easy just with the templates alone. But now you have an AI assist to help you modify and rebrand those templates really well and easily. This is really cool because I was already turning to ChatGPT for this. They have something called Ask Canva, where you can be like, hey, Canva, what do you think of this design? I don't think it's really working. What do you think I should improve? You basically have like a design assistant to generate designs and edit content with prompts. You can basically ask for feedback. Canva Grow, more tools for publishing, distribution, and analytics to scale your creative work. There's a whole new like brand kit on steroids. It's called the brand system, which is going to make it easier to collaborate with teams on your brand identity and keeping that consistent. And yes, affinity, which I had never even heard of until yesterday, but it's apparently a big deal. Thank you, Rich. They made affinity free, which is big news in the commercial, print, and art world. And affinity, to my understanding, is pretty much like putting Illustrator, InDesign, and Photoshop all in one platform instead of like opening each different platform. You can like have a print document or a magazine layout or something in one tab, and then jump to a tab with your vector logo and like not have to open and have all these different platforms. So AI features, and they ended up talking about how they are doing a lot of philanthropic efforts to be more sustainable. Yeah, interesting point. Yeah, lots of .ai files. Literally the same week I was saying to myself, I need to resubscribe to Adobe to deal with these AI files. Absolutely game changing. Yes, the fact that they have vector files in there now, because I've always wondered about that. Like you can make logos in Canva, but they're not infinitely scalable like a like a true vector until now. So while we are celebrating all of these new features, I'm going to celebrate because Canva sent me a box. Isn't that nice? It's called Imagine a World of Learning, the Canva World Tour. And as a concert girly, I love me a world tour. So let's unbox it. I'm not going to lie, I did take a peek. And I was upset because I freaked out about something and I should have waited to share it with you guys. But I only looked at like one or two things. Okay. And the thing I freaked out about is a freaking digital camera. I was just thinking that my camera roll is out of control. And, let's kick it old school. Yeah, I'm ready to bring this back. Who else is ready to just go and have a digital camera? And what megapixel is current? 16 megapixels. I feel like I had like a 4 megapixel camera back in the day, and that was supposed to be cool. So, yeah, full HD video. I forgot I should be making video. I would give a kidney to get a PR box from Canva. This really surprised me, you guys. They commented on one of my posts, and it wasn't even about Canva. They were just really nice. And I really have you guys to thank, because I feel like when you comment on my stuff, it just helps other people see it. And I want to thank you and take pictures of all of you. So let's see what else we have, and let's show some love to Canva. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. They're super nice and super generous. We have a notebook. Follow your imagination. I sure will. Well, what is this? It's a ticket. Oh, okay. This is tickets to their announcement yesterday. So love that. Glad we got to catch up on, what they shared. Patches. Cool patches. I feel like a flight attendant. Imagination is in session. Imagine a world of learning. On tour. You know what I would have really loved? Maybe it's in here, is like a concert tee. Oh, a fisheye lens. That's fun for your phone. So small pouch, big dreams. Gonna put my lip gloss in here. A little lanyard. Stickers. Definitely stickers. More pouches. Canva certified creative. I have been wanting to get Canva to notice me for a while, mainly because here's a fun fact. I was a Canva beta user in like 2014. So I have been there from the beginning. And then we've got some cool bags. Orange, green. Oh, this looks like a laptop sleeve. So thank you, Canva. We love you. And now, I might have to make some more video with this new camera. I have been wanting to up my game there and do that. So thank you, Canva. We love you. We love Canva. What am I going to do with all these patches? I'll have to put them on like backpacks and stuff, but definitely just wanted to share that. And yeah, now let's talk about it. Oh wait, where are my slides? Let's talk about some of these new features. Good merch, yay! Yeah, so this affinity thing, like I said, it's like putting the entire Adobe suite within Canva all in one tool. Thank you guys for indulging me while I unbox that. That was a lot of fun. So according to Fast Company, it says Affinity, which is the British company Canva bought in 2024, is out with a new app that aims to sync Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. Oof. With a simple proposal. If you are a professional designer, here's an integrated photo editing, vector illustration, and page layout studio seamlessly integrated into a single application with a feature set comparable to Adobe's apps and a fully customable UI for free. Ooh, we love OG Canva. So I'm just curious, what design tools have you used over the years, and has Canva changed your workflow? Have you broken up with Adobe? I did as soon as I became, well, no, I had it for a little while, but when I became like an independent freelancer and I didn't get it through work anymore, it's pretty pricey. I wasn't downloading it on Napster anymore. So, oops, that's not the effect I want. There we go. So what design tools have you used over the years, and has Canva changed your workflow? What are you using it for? I pretty much use it for everything at this point. PopChat was created in Canva. So I'm just curious, are you using it for video? Do you hope to use it for video? Now you can maybe reconsider some video editing tools that you might have. I feel like I dropped something from this box. So yeah, the only thing I need to clean up in Canva is that my files are a mess. And especially seeing their presentation yesterday with like how organized your brand kit could be, and just, finally setting all that stuff up to make your life easier. I haven't really done a good job of that. Rich says, I'm still using Adobe Creative Cloud every day for merch work. I have a Canva Pro for quickie stuff, YouTube thumbnails, social posts, etc. Okay, yeah, Adobe makes sense for merch. I'm curious though, with Affinity, will you pivot a little bit, Rich? What are you thinking? Canva really is the only option if your job isn't paying for it. Yeah, what does a pro account cost these days? MS Paint, Amy and Monique are on the same page. Does anyone here remember it was called Paint Shop Pro? Jask Paint Shop Pro. That was like the first thing I ever really used InDesign. I can't imagine I would know my way around InDesign anymore. It's also very powerful. Use Canva, and now my university is an Adobe Creative Campus, so we all have access to the Adobe suite, but I love Canva. My students are allowed to use either for their submissions. Oh, I have used it to create email and social visuals. Yeah. Interesting. This Affinity thing, I'm very curious to see how things change. They had Canva blocked on the computers at my last job and forced us to use Adobe, but gave us trash laptops, so it would take me thrice as long to do anything. Oh, yeah, because you got to power up each individual program. Adobe is so expensive now, especially since they switched to a subscription model. Yeah, I would just use the old one. Like, remember when we could get just a CD-ROM and just get by on like a 3.0 version? So kid pics. Oh, the best. Really, that was where we first learned about graphic design. I've never used Figma. Adobe is about $800 a year. And yeah, it's a lot. Canva Pro is 85% cheaper. I looked it up this morning. I know what that was called. Kid Picks. I've never used Figma. Figma is more for like UI stuff, right? It's kind of like I have used InVision before. It might be similar. But by the way, we're going to be kicking off our partnership with Zapier, as you know, and they just, speaking of making your lives easier, they integrate with so many of these tools that you're talking about. KidPix. Good times was the OG. Didn't KidPix also have like sound effects as you did stuff? Like you would like have the little paintbrush and it would be like, woo, woo. I think working in KidPix would heal all of us right now. So, all right, everyone, thanks for going down memory lane with me. Adobe InDesign to design books. Adobe Fresco. I've never heard of that. To make book icons and random stuff. But Nadia, I want to see more of your work. And I use Canva for images. I like their elements. Oh, one cool thing that Canva does, speaking of their elements, like if you use like an illustration of theirs, let's say it's a little icon of like a cake and you like that illustration style, you can like format that illustration style on another element and keep it cohesive. You can just be like, I want this element to match the same style as this element. And you could do it in one click. It's like so cool. You can hear the oh no. Woo! I love the feel of so much choice. Yeah. And, I think it's still a good skill to have. What you don't hear about anymore is Dreamweaver. Is anyone using Dreamweaver? That just always felt like the more challenging way to make a website. Okay, friends, 2:03 on this fun Halloween Friday. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Please come with your party hats on or your sailor hats, whatever you fancy, because Zapier will be here to join us. We're going to kind of continue this conversation, and we have a few things planned about. I want to hear more about your tech stack and some cool things that you're working on, and just I did not know that. Not know what? Which piece? Which piece? Oh, good to know. Fresco is free on iPad. Oh my gosh. I love that you guys are helping each other. So Zapier will be here next week. Would love your help giving them a warm welcome. And you could win some swag. We're going to do some fun little trivia and cool things. And also, like I said, happy Halloween. Look out for Mariah Carey's It's Time video that I'm sure she's got scheduled for tonight at midnight, because tomorrow it's time. Controversial, but that's when Mariah signals that we are switching into Christmas mode and the holidays. So, and her initials are MC for Merry Christmas. Like she is the authority on this, if you ask me. So, oh my gosh, this is always dancing around. There we go. So enjoy your Friday night. Have fun. Be safe. Eat your candy. I'll see you next week with Zapier. And yeah, thank you all for your engagement and everything today. I'll see you. Mariah is defrosting. Yes, it's time. I can't hit that note. Yeah, I know. We're kind of like a wait till after Thanksgiving household. I don't know. But I just love the positivity and the fun holiday spirit. It's a great time of year. So we're going to have a lot more fun. Big payday for Mariah. I'm sure she's going to be on the Billboard charts. Maybe she should come out with a rap song and find a way to get back on there. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you next Friday and have a great weekend. Bye.